seen a million videos already about Charlie Kirk. I'm sure you have, or if you haven't, this is a political figure, an American political figure who got publicly assassinated, publicly executed for the crime of speaking, but for speaking. It's America, it's free speech. So, if you guys don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he's a political speaker, he's a conservative, and he's a Christian. He loves Jesus. He talks about guns, he talks about politics here in America. I know I have a lot of fans that are outside of the United States, and so maybe you guys don't know who that is, and I understand. That's okay. A lot of Americans live in a bubble, and we forget that the rest of the world exists. But basically, this is a big day for America. It's a very sad day because this is an innocent person, a 31-year-old disciplined, sober, hardworking father who was essentially killed in public at a university in front of everyone. This is a YouTuber. There's really, if we're gonna be real honest, there's no difference between me and Charlie Kirk. We're both YouTubers, we both stream, we both do things. I just happen to be a singer. I'm not involved in the political scene, but he actually is. And very shortly I will be doing public events like this, singing in public, and I still do shit in public too. I just don't go out, and talk to people. Point is, if they can go after Charlie Kirk, they can go after you, they can go after me, they can go after anyone. This guy who took him out is some sort of dork. Like, I was looking at his pictures and I'm like, dude, some dork with a gun can just kill you in America. This is just craziness. Like, any dork with a gun can take you out. That's just like, it's horrible. Like, I do all this combat training, beat up all these tough guys just for some random dork off in the distance like a coward to take your life. What happened to him was absolutely tragic. This is I didn't watch his content. I knew who he was because I'm pretty familiar with politics. I have my own political views. I'm a Christian. However, I think that anybody celebrating this needs to be absolutely politically just decimated. We can't let people like that win. There's people on TikTok, there's people who are celebrating Charlie Kirk. There's people who are celebrating this type of savagery. That's the best term I can use. There's people who are celebrating that. And we have to win. If they win, if people like that win, if they gain political power, if they ever gain political power over all of us, we are going to live in such a state of brutality and cruelty. It will be incomparable with any other time in history except that of Stalin or Mao. It is absolutely terrible, the type of mentality that these people have. And I I wish that this person who does this, who did this murder, I want him to have a public interview. I want him to be interviewed publicly. I want everybody to see the type of mindset that precedes this type of political action. Look, I don't think that everything Charlie said was correct. I'm not just some right wing conservative. I'm not a bleeding heart liberal either. My side is Jesus. And there's some nuances in terms of fiscal policy and whatever. I don't care about the policy. No one should be murdered for having a point of view. I don't care if they're a communist. I don't care if they're a fascist. I don't care if they're a Satanist. I don't care if they're a Catholic. They shouldn't be murdered for a point of view. W- Lives are God's to take, not humans. So for a human to take a life, you're essentially playing God, and that is a sin. That is evil. That is an abomination. And it's different from self-defense. If you're defending yourself, that's one thing. This is a coward, from a mile away. So my point is, we're witnessing something in our country that is very similar and reminiscent to the 1960s and the 1910s. President Roosevelt was shot 6 times, and he came and did a speech. He luckily didn't have any bullets pierce his arteries or any major organs. President John F. Kennedy we know what happened to him. And not president, but Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, these men were also taken out too. And this was around that time of the 1960s during great civil upheaval. We're witnessing civil upheaval happening again here in the 2020s, and it perhaps will continue into the 2030s. And I think we all know intuitively that this is the middle of a ongoing story with the United States. This is an ongoing demographic story that is drawn between ethnic, political, and sociological and socioeconomic lines. And I feel that it is up to our generation, Gen Z, to lead through this great chasm of upheaval and tumultuousness, whatever you say. You know, we have to be the good guys. We gotta be the good guys. We have to be the good guys. We gotta lead. You know, I'm an artist. I can make art about anything. I want to lead people. That's why I make music. I want to be the greatest artist of all time. I am the greatest artist of all time. And so I feel that it is my duty to lead people and also let people know that we're the good guys. If you're against political violence, if you love God, even if you don't believe in God, if you love humanity, you're on my team. You're on Team Samari. You're on Team God. And if you're against those things, if you're okay with this type of stuff, yeah, well, I don't want you at my concerts. Please don't go to my concerts. You're a freak show. Okay? You need to be politically decimated. You cannot be anywhere near power. Some people I feel like, this is a hot take. I'm scared that some people have the right to vote because they can vote maniacs into power that are absolute maniacs. Like, do you want to live in a country full of barbaric warlords? Warlords in Georgia, warlords in California, warlords in different fractional states, and everyone is living in fear. Like, oh God, if I say something wrong, they're gonna kill me. If I go in public, these guys are gonna stab me. We shouldn't live like that. We're the greatest country on earth. When Japan attacked the United States, it seemed like that America was divided because there was a lot of infighting between Democrats and Republicans about joining World War II. But then when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, all of a sudden, oh, we're all on the same team. We're all American. And we defeated the Germans and the Japs. And so the point is, this is our precipice moment as Gen Z. Hard times make strong men. So I'm proud to say that we're going into hard times. Woohoo! I get to be the alpha male that leads, that gets to be a strong man, that brings good times. So this is up to us to make good times. So as far as Charlie Kirk, he's in heaven. But what we gotta do is we gotta carry that torch. We gotta carry that torch of civilization, of God. He's with Jesus. Charlie's with Jesus right now. However, he's done his work here on earth. Jesus died at 33 years old, and then he resurrected and went off to heaven and ascended at 33. Well, Charlie was 31. You know, a lot of great men, things happen after they turn 30. I'm only 25, but you know what? We're on the trajectory of achieving greatness, and I want you guys to be part of this journey. Young, middle-aged, elderly, it doesn't matter. The older you are, the wiser you are, the younger you are, the more potential you have. And so I really want you guys to just understand that this is an opportunity for us to really guide the future. We got to lead. We can't be politically violent. We got to be able to talk to people. We got to listen, and we got to be able to have a dialogue. And we also got to be not cruel. We got to be loving. This is cruelty. You guys are witnessing evil. There's real evil bubbling under the surface of our country. And it is really off-putting. As an artist, I can see anyone shooting me on stage. Obviously, I'm not going to live in fear. I don't live in fear. I'm going to still perform at these concerts. But I'm making a point that if they can go after Charlie, they can go after anyone. They can go after you. They can go after your parents. They can go after everyone. They went after the president while he was on stage. It's just craziness. And I think we're all aware of that. And I'm sure you guys have probably heard this message before. But I have to tell you it because it's my duty to be able to be honest and express myself because I am an artist. It's what I do. I'm a streamer, I'm an artist, and I want to be honest about how I feel about this because this is a historical moment, a very historical moment. They're going to write about this in the textbooks. And so, for my a younger audience that's witnessing this, you guys are probably horrified by this. You guys have probably seen these videos. Oh my god. This guy's children is going to have to grow up with this type of content online, which is just despicable. It's really sad. I remember when my uncle passed away in a very similar way. His brother shot him in the head 5 times. Uncle Michael. And if there was a video of that online and it was viral and people were sharing it and making shirts of it, Jesus. Oh my god. I don't think I'd be the same person. I'm a very optimistic, joyful, good human being. I feel like if I saw that, I would be a very resentful, fatalistic, um, nihilistic person. And I feel like this type of violence is nihilism. It's very much a godless violence. It's a very evil violence. It's very characteristic of the devil. This is exactly what the devil wants. The devil hates America. He's hated America since 1776 when we signed the Declaration of Independence. When those founding fathers signed that document, they all knew that they could absolutely all die when they signed that document. They knew that England was going to come for their heads. But they signed that document anyways because they wanted to create a new society, a society built on free speech, the Second Amendment, God. It's the height of Western culture, is what America is. It's the very precipice, the peak of Western society. And so we can't allow it to be destroyed. This is our generational struggle right here. Our past generations had civil rights, World War II, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War. We have the artificial intelligence age and the upheaval that comes with the third industrial revolution. So that's exactly what's happening right now. I had to make this content, because it's consistency, but it's also how I feel. And this video is gonna last decades. People are gonna see this. And for anyone watching this video, just know that we're one of the good guys, and I want you to be part of the good guys too. That's it. Love you guys. Peace out.